Okay, I think we're good to start. Hey everyone, Happy New Year. This is our meetup to celebrate winners of InterSystems analytics contest, which we had last year. Today we will see these solutions, the winners in action, and we will let the winners to have their story about where they're from, who they are, where they're from, and actually ask questions to our product managers from InterSystems who are also in this meetup. So great, and I want to say that we have our product managers here, Carmen Logue. Hi, Carmen, and also Benjamin Debo. Hi, Benjamin. Okay, so Carmen, Benjamin, maybe you want to say something before we start?
Well, I'll jump in. Benjamin, you can come after that. So first of all, thank you guys for participating in this. It was really fun to see what you came up with. Analytics is definitely an area that we're investing a lot in, particularly as we come into this next year. So I think the feedback that you guys give us, both in terms of other things that we can do and also how you're using some of our solutions, is really helpful to that. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Carmen. Yeah, okay, and we will start in random order as usual. Yuri, could you please make your show?
Yes, thank you. I will share my screen. I'm from Brazil. I am a system architect from Visum, and my app is the website analyzer. The website analyzer allows to the user using NLP to analyze the website's contents. So the user enter the website address and Apex Object-Script Business Service receives the website address and use Crawler 4G is a Java framework to crawling our website, extract all contents from our website or partial contents, and the Crawler 4J extracts the website's contents, respecting the depth and pages limits defined in the production, and storing the text extracted to a defined folder. The folder with the contents is analyzed from I know assessing this folder to and index all the contents extracted from website files. And now user can analyze the website contents in the text analytics tool and in the BI portal. In my sample, I index 3 websites: the IBM, InterSystems, and Microsoft websites. I limited to 5 pages, but it's possible gets a million of pages from any website and analyze it. The results, we have the results here in the website analyze, in the NLP. So the Microsoft, IBM, and InterSystems websites, we have the following concepts: the IBM, Microsoft, InterSystems. To Microsoft, we see 365 platform, Xbox, and Office platform. Teams is the main entities found. To IBM, IBM focusing in cloud platform. Okay, and the InterSystems focusing in Iris, Tracker, data platform. So with a rapid extract from the text, we know the main topics from our websites, and we can compare the other sites with your site, for example. The crawler for J is made in Java, and I use specs from the interoperability package in the InterSystems to call the crawler for J, and the crawler for J respects the robot file from the website, the policies, and do the all extract from the sites and store in a file. See, in this, this is possible to extract videos, images, but in this sample, I extracted only HTML files. Okay. So you and I store in this direct. In the sites. Okay. In this production, we see the messages. So we have a production calling receiving the website's address. So you pass the website as parameter, and the production receive then receives calls crawls the crawler for J, index the contents, and call the NLP to index the texts, and you'll see all results. It's possible analyze in analytics, in BI analytics too. So analyzer, user portal. So you can see the main topics founded in the indexes. Okay, the frequencies, the spreads. Okay, so is my app. Any questions?
Thank you, Yuri. Fantastic app. Just tell us, first feedback. I tested it, of course, against the developer community. Yes, so I built this domain. It worked pretty fine. So at least it works. Thank you for nice application sample. And I give actually maybe could you mute somebody could mute themselves because it's an echo. Yeah. And so if Carmen, Benjamin, do you have any questions?
Well, I was curious what you learned about the developer community. When you said you ran it against the developer community?
Actually, it's a question to myself. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't learn very much a lot because I know it well. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
no
true.
surprises,
Yeah.
to be honest. But this is a great tool to have insights to understand how concepts connect to each other. But so I want to use your tool, Yuri, further to analyze thoroughly developer community. I just see that it works. It collects terms and shows relations between each other. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Any questions to Yuri?
I have a question. So what are the next steps or thoughts to future enhancements for that?
I want to build a beautiful UI to the app to allow get more interactive from the results.
Okay, so instead of the URL, just enter your site and collect it and do the work. Embed the needs to be added dashboard and other things in it. Sorry, there is a noise coming, not from me. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Asaf, I think I got your question too. So it's more about it was my request also to have the option to enter the URL not in the browser but like with the UI. Yeah, but actually I was really surprised how easy our Iris NLP could be used in any analysis. So thank you for this application, and it also allows anyone to build an analytics tool against any real data and against any site. So I think this is really useful, like for researchers or for playing like some arbitrary data, random but real data. So this is great case. So maybe as a fundamental component for some other analytics or other solutions against some real data. So thank you, Yuri. Yeah, it was really exciting. Yuri, and according to the rules of our Meetup, you are welcome to ask any questions to product managers here. So please use this opportunity. If you have questions to Carmen or Benjamin, please go ahead.
What is the next steps to the analytics platform in the InterSystems? Is self-service BI or any other topic?
Yeah, so I'll start, and again, Benjamin can also jump in here too, because it depends sort of which area you're talking about. We did make a few announcements at the virtual summit. So one area that we are investing in is something we're calling adaptive analytics, which will provide kind of a semantic layer on top in order to support Tableau, Power BI, Excel, other tools like that. We are also making investments in InterSystems Iris BI or Deep Sea. So a lot of the investments we're making there are actually kind of under the cover investments in terms of performance and some other things like that. So you'll see some of that in our 2021.1 release. And then the other area, which I think we tried to get into this competition, but didn't quite make it, was in terms of reports. So we are working on tighter integration there with our InterSystems reports product to help people with initially at least the installation piece, making that somewhat more integrated. And so there's more work that will come there. Integrated ML, as you know, is GA. So that's another, I think, a big focus where we want to particularly look at how we can help customers with adoption, be able to tell stories about how to use it, that sort of thing. So that's where the focus is on that right now. And then I'll let Benjamin talk about kind of some of the other things that are going on too.
Sure, thanks,
Anything else you want to add?
Specifically around natural language processing, most of our efforts of the past year have been around the open source version of the technology. So that's just the engine, so independent of any database, which of course you needed for storing the output for all the scrape website I know parsings. So we've invested a lot in making sure that it's all, or that the whole engine surface is available through a Python interface. So now you can just do import INOPy and you'll have the whole INO engine available to you. What we're going to do next, or what's still left of that body of work, is making sure that these two strains of the technology become interoperable in a way that you can download the open source version of the INO engine. You can, if you're up for it, you can work on the language models, and that you can promote those language models from the open source version back into InterSystems Iris, because we've seen that a couple of our customers, for example, in Japan, have been really creative with the technology, but then sometimes need to wait for quite a while for changes that to the language models to trickle through in an Iris version that they can install. So that's something we're doing there. And then also for the within Iris, our SQL search, formerly known as iFind indices, we're adding a capability to search for synonyms through a word-to-vec based model. We're adding that to the product as well.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Benjamin. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, Yuri. And actually, I'm really happy to admit that with winners, we have examples of using NLP and integrated ML and InterSystems reports. And actually, Henrique, are you able to continue? So, Henrique, yeah. So if you are, so, yeah. So yeah. Actually, I'd love to invite you to make the next show. So Henrique, and I bet you used InterSystems reports in your solution, right?
Yes, I was trying to set up the InterSystems report again, report designer, because unfortunately my notebook died in 2020, so I need to format and start everything from scratch. But I can show can show my application. It's quite simple. Just a second. Let me share my screen, please.
Okay, please go ahead.
Can you please introduce yourself?
Oh, sure. Hi, my name is Henrique. I'm from Brazil. I'm working with InterSystems technology for the last 17 years. And I work at São Paulo Federal Court as a database administrator. And here's my project. I create an InterSystems analytic package. I try to put a few examples, simple examples, to show customers, not only to Irish customers, especially old customers that use InterSystems technology, but doesn't know that they have in hands a lot of potential to extract. So that's why I choose a simple package to help them introduce a new world and extract more information. Okay, my project is a kind of fusion. I use a Evgeny project CSV import. The idea from Gideon to create a UI to CSV gen and analyze this for Peter. So I make everything work together. And here my app. You can put let's start with small CSV. So you define your separator, choose your class name here. Here you can decide if you want to create a cube for this class, and if you want, which name, and if you want to generate a sample dashboard. So you just upload. Oh, sorry. Let's try again. Let's try again. Let's see. And generate a sample dashboard. So you upload this CSV file, they import to a new class, import all data, create a cube, and build a sample dashboard. So here I use a lot of projects, existing projects. So I just they work together in a, I try to create a simple and useful interface. So the user can provide or offer to customers a powerful solution, simple and powerful solution. And I also included in this project a few examples in this Iris Analytic package, few examples how to use Report Designer with InterSystems Iris. So let me show here. Let's create something to show how easy it is. Let's see, we can create here a COVID sample using the class provided from Evgeny. So here you can use a query or anything else. Let's see, I already created a query using this database. It's quite simple. Let's see in details, country, right? Confirm. That's here. Let's group by country region. Next here, if you want to aggregate something, if you want to create some charts here, it's possible. Let's see just a simple way how you can create. So let's see here. COVID sample, right? And when you connect to our database, really quick and easy. I really like to work with the InterSystems report. Give us so much potential. It's really easy to create a report because users love print reports, right? A lot of paper, but that's it. It's really simple and easy, and that's my whole package. So it's not so fancy as Yuri or José, but that's it. Any questions?
Thank you, Henrique. I think this is fantastic app. Thank you so much. So yes, do we have questions? Carmen, Benjamin, do you have any questions to Henrique?
Yeah, I have a question about how was it to learn InterSystems reports? Did you what resources did you use to do that? We're trying to figure out the best way to roll that out. Yeah.
No, InterSystems I really like it, not just because I'm talking to you, but I have a previous experience working with InterSystems Zen reports, and after Zen reports, I work with Jasper reports and Crystal reports. But it's InterSystem reports give us much potential, but it's quite hard to create complex reports in a few minutes. But for simple solutions, I think it's perfect. Work fine, and for a developer or that have no experience creating reports with those tools that I mentioned before, I think it is quite simple. In 30 minutes top, you can create something great with graphics and tables, pivots. I think for pivot tables, you can take a little longer to learn. And most important thing, you have to know your data. So knowing your data, you know how you can create it and what you can create it. But I'm quite satisfied with the solution.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, just maybe one follow. It sounds like if you've worked with Crystal, I think the sort of the mental model of InterSystems reports is very similar. So I think that's helpful.
Really helpful.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks.
Welcome.
Yeah, any more questions? So guys, you can ask questions aloud or in the chat, so you're very welcome with the questions. And
I have a question. It's about the report too. It is possible to set up a report in an ad hoc mode, like it's possible to user set up your own report, and I'm see that the current tool is a desktop tool. How could I publish a report online or web access?
Yeah, I can take that. So there's actually two parts to InterSystems reports. So there's the designer, which is what Henrique showed you, which is a desktop application, and that's kind of the development environment. And then you can actually publish those reports to a server. And the server you get access to through, it's a browser-based access to that. And so from the server, you can, and that's one thing I'm curious about is how our partners are going to do this, whether they're going to publish a bunch of reports and then just let end users get access through the server and not deliver the designer. I'm not sure yet, how people are going to do that. But from the server, then you can get access through a browser, and you can save the report in a variety of formats. So you can either schedule it so that it delivers it as an attachment email. You can schedule it to publish as a file if you want to make it available for people just to go get it when they want it. Or you can, as well as from the server, you can do some amount of change. So end users can do things like change the background formatting, do drill downs from there, that sort of thing. So some simpler things. They can't kind of reprogram for that. You need to use the designer. But for some of those kind of formatting and layout kinds of things, you can make those changes from the server. So we think that the best approach is create a set of reports from the designer, publish them to the server, and make reports available primarily from the server for the end users. So there'll be a limited number of people actually using the designer. Does that answer your question?
Thank you.
Yeah, Carmen, may I add, so as far as understood, there is also an ability for clients, for consumers of these published reports to slightly change it, right? Like with filters or online.
Yes,
there is
from
some
the server.
there is
that's
interaction,
right.
So you can drill down to data and you can manage filters. So
that's right. Right.
Almost what you have in Iris BI dashboards, similar approach. Any more questions to Henrique's solution? And I'll use the pause because I want to comment this. So what I liked about this that Henrique, you combined in your example solution a lot of other apps models with ZPM. So you used like analyze this. I saw that from Peter Staver. Thank you. Great application. So which helps you to generate a dashboard from scratch, which is like sometimes we just want to see the data, and we really can do this with Peter's analyze this solution. This is really great thing. And also you used SysVGen, like another module. So thank you that you use the power of community in your solution. And this is what we are trying to approach, that when we contribute all these solutions to the community, then community uses it. And so this is a great example of this such usage. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, now we go into our next presenter, José. José, who is the winner of this analytics competition. And José, again, this is your turn. So please introduce yourself and make your show.
Okay, thank you. Let me share my screen first. Prepare to do a presentation. See my screen? Okay. I will talk about a prototype I've made, which is a simple implementation from a notebook to use Iris analytics capabilities. So first, my name is José. I'm Brazilian, 36 years old. I've been using InterSystems technology since 2010, working at Shift, Brazilian company, which provides solutions for laboratories in Brazil and other countries in South America. Well, the motivation of my project was in the past few months, I've been studying data science stuff, and it's almost omnipresent the presence of notebooks. And the reason why notebooks are so used is because it can make easier express ideas and conclusions about data, about analysis based on data. So and also see some kind of tendency of mixing dashboards and notebooks in order to let users give more power in this analytics tool. So I'm trying to implement this idea using Iris. So in order to this goal, I've used these technologies. First, the Iris Analytic Business Intelligence REST API, which is a REST API for access all kind of features which you can do using GPC dashboards, cubes, subject areas, and all kind of GPC stuff. I'm also use the Iris Analytic dashboards, or formerly GPC dashboards, in order to make easier the crude features. I used REST Forms too, a great application published in ZPM. And for front-end, I used Angular and Angular Material. And the templates for the project was the samples for the samples information, samples cubes from these two templates. And I also used the Iris Sampler REST API, the REST Angular to provide the base for the backend and frontend, and the GradML demo for know how to use the GradML. My project is basically a crude for notebook, a prototype for notebooks. A notebook is and each cell has a type and a content. And for this prototype, I created 3 types of cell: a markdown cell, pivot table cell, and Iris dashboard cell. Markdown cells are cells which you can write annotations using Markdown notation. It's a great, simple, and intuitive. You can style text easily, and this way you can insert annotations to your data, your analysis. The next type of cell is pivot table cell, which is basically using the Iris Analytic REST API. I use this API for retrieving the cubes, for retrieving its dimension, their dimensions, their measures, their members, and also for perform MDX queries, which is how the pivot table works. The results are displayed as a table, could be displayed as a table or as a chart as well. And finally, I also created a simple cell for embedding Iris dashboards, Iris Analytic dashboards. Iris Analytic dashboard has such feature you can easily embed it on other web applications. So I decided to use it here in my application. And a last feature I added to my project was mixing integrated ML machine learning features with GPC Iris Analytic cubes. So I created a cube for medical appointments. And you know, in appointments, patients could show or not show. So I created a model to predict, in order to predict when a patient will show or not show, and used this model for feeding a cube dimension. So I will show you quickly here. So this is the interface. It's not beautiful like Henrique interface, as you always said. Henrique is LeBron of the context. He always provide really nice user interface. So I'm trying. And now you can name it your notebook and create some markdown. add another cell, and create here the pivot cell. First, you need to say what your source information. Now I can pivot the data. So I want to see the date of appointments in the rows, and if the appointment will be a show or a not show. And I can also filter only valid results. So now I have a table visualization, and I can also change it for the chart visualization. And you can also mix it with an Iris dashboard. Just pick the URL, Logue, and okay, you have an Iris dashboard also in our notebook. So as a future work, I'm planning to add some NLP feature using I know. I really like the work from Yuri and other works using I know. And also I want to improve the pivot table component and try to release it as a separated component for the community. And that's it. Thank you. If you have any questions, please ask me.
Yeah, thank you, José. I think this is an amazing app. And yeah, do we have any questions? First, Carmen, Benjamin, do you have?
Just, I guess one question is, are there things that you ran into that we could improve on? Maybe just kind of that general question first, in terms of working with Iris for this.
Sorry, I think I don't get your question.
Oh, I was just wondering if you had suggestions for us after working on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really like the capability of getting so much control on application through getting the power of gypsy analysis, MJX engine from in a REST API. You can complete what InterSystems provides you, and I'm wondering if you will provide such feature from the new technology, the adaptive analytics.
I mean, in terms of additional APIs, or which part of it?
Yeah, I mean, as I'm asking before, that is, for example, in the report tool, would be great if you can let user to use. It's my thought, okay, to let the user to get something like the designer through a REST API, because in my experience, we have a lot of report requests from customers. And I think if we could let the customer by themselves create their own reports would be great. It's my thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of well, I mentioned that before with regards to reports. That's kind of a question, and that we have is how partners have the ability to distribute the designer if they want to. I think the question is, are end customers happy with that? Are they able to use the designer and do what they want, or is it going to be more of we're going to deliver a set of reports that then they can customize? So either of those models is, I think, is legitimate, is fine. And yeah, with regards to adaptive analytics, I'm not sure yet. We're, in terms of our initial release that's coming out, I don't know how much we'll make available with APIs at that point, but I think we'll have to kind of, we'll see as we go what else is useful there with regards to using APIs. That's a good question. I don't know the answer to it yet. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I have another question as well. I like this notebook app a lot. And I was wondering if you also consider extending an existing notebook app like Zeppelin or Polyglot, who are, well, meant to be extensible, and or whether you just wanted to start from scratch because there's too much kind of work that would have gone into the adapting to those frameworks.
Yeah, great question. Actually, the first thought was actually extend an existing framework like Jupyter or Zeppelin. However, I find it's a bit difficult a little bit difficult to do this. And as as also I want to practice my front end skills. I'm trying to use to construct from scratch, but I think it's totally good to use existing notebook framework, and I will search for that.
No, but what you build looks good for sure. And maybe another question to the last bit that you added, that you mentioned. So including the output, the prediction results of an integrated ML model, because that's something I played with myself already a long while ago with our PML support. Were you looking to, or do you have a particular preference whether the output of the model should be part of your DeepSeek cube, or whether it should always be calculated in real time?
Yeah, good question. Also good question.
Because I think what you did in what you built, you're actually building them when you're building your DeepSeek cube. It's automatically running the model at build time and not at run time, right?
Yes. Good question. I think is totally practical to implement as a KPI, for example, and run the analysis in real time. However, I'm trying this approach because I thought, okay, I could run the model and each synchronization, so I can keep the cube updated, and this baby more performatic for a user. But I need to experiment the online execution of the model. I didn't experiment yet.
Yeah, or maybe this. So you could do that through a calculated measure, I think.
Yeah.
But I think that this may also be an interesting use case for selective cube build. So I'm sure that we'll be doing some talking internally about how we can marry these things together. But thanks. Yeah. That's another great idea to put in.
Thank you.
Thank you, Benjamin. Any more questions to José? In exchange, José, you are welcome to ask your questions to Benjamin if you want.
Well, I think I did all questions. I'm really excited with the new technologies, adaptive analytics, the report design tool. It's just not so much clear yet how we could use such technologies alongside the legacy one, and also for me, yet is some kind of abstract how these tools will work in cloud. I think we could provide more cloud examples in order to get this new environment more natural, I think.
Yeah, there was a lot packed in there in that statement. But yeah, I think it's a good point. We are bringing a number of things, making a number of things available, and I think in some cases they're available as options or as choices for customers. I think in a lot of cases, though, we see these solutions being used either alongside or in conjunction. Like I think some of the things that you guys have demonstrated is how we can use them in conjunction with each other, which is great. I think reports, I mean, that's clear. I think we're looking at reports as a replacement for Zen reports, right? So we've said we're deprecating Zen reports. We want to have an alternative for that. So that's why we're bringing in reports. With adaptive analytics, it's really bringing in something that allows us to be more active in our, for our customers in terms of analytics options, right? And in cases where customers have already standardized on Tableau or Power BI, this will allow people a way to, or customers a way to have a kind of a common data model that they can use with those tools. However, in places where we have a need for embedded BI, DeepSea is our go-to solution there. So, I mean, that's going to be, like I said, we are continuing to invest there, and that's something that we see as a long-term requirement. So, so what we're trying to do is bring forth solutions that solve lots of different problems that our customers have. So I'm not sure I totally answered your question, actually, and I completely dodged the cloud comment, but that's something that we definitely see as a critical area kind of across the whole platform, not just with analytics. Yeah. So there are, a number of initiatives around that to further strengthen our solution there. And I think what you asked for was really more examples, right, as for that. And I think that's a good suggestion. And I don't know, Benjamin, if you want to jump in on that at all, either feel free, or anybody. But yeah, that's definitely an area where we're looking to do more there as well in terms of both examples and development.
Besides examples, I want to see use case. For example, my company it is something difficult to our customers. Some of our customers doesn't want to get their data in cloud. So I would like to see some use case how people around the world are dealing with it.
Yeah, I will say though, I mean, the move to cloud is largely customer driven. I mean, there are some vendors who are pushing that direction as well, but we are hearing it from a lot of end customers. So it's not necessarily something that we are pushing on customers, but it's definitely something that we are hearing from our customers that they want to do. So, but I completely agree with you that there are some customers who are very concerned about it, right? So it's an interesting balancing act. Yeah.
Thank you.
José, Carmen, actually, we are running out of time, but we have another cloud question here. Maybe we can have 1 minute more. So there is a question in the chat. If we InterSystems have plans to release a managed PaaS or SaaS InterSystems Iris, like Aurora, for example, on Amazon, AWS.
I'll take that one. Yes, we are, as Carmen already mentioned, we are actively exploring what our options are, but it's not a clear cut. There's no easy answer to this. We don't want to end up in a race to the bottom when it comes to pricing for having some wishy-washy database service up in the cloud. Without, that's not being fair to AWS or Aurora, but we don't want to be the cost is an important factor there, and it's hard to compete with the ones that offer the cloud infrastructure themselves, of course. So we want to make sure that we find this sweet spot where we can add the value, where we can play our strengths, and that's something complicated, for which there's also the conversation with customers and finding the right audience that we have to do. So for a full platform as a service, because of course we offer a broad platform that is not just a SQL thing, or not just an integration engine, or not just a BI solution. So a platform as a service is something that we're looking into. But first, we are launching a couple of more isolated or targeted services. And the Fire Accelerator service, which was announced at Virtual Summit back in November, is one of the first such examples. But in the absence of that PaaS, SaaS, or function as a service, for other pieces of the platform, of course, InterSystems Iris is already available in the marketplace, in all main marketplaces. So on AWS, Google Cloud, and Azure, you can find us on the marketplaces and spin it up as a managed instance. So, but stay tuned. There's going to be we hope to be announcing more in the course of the year in this area. And please come to us with your questions, with your suggestions and requirements, because that helps us too.
Thank you, Benjamin. And actually, with all your next questions to product management, you are very welcome to our next meetup with the contests. And actually, you of course can ask all these questions on developer community and Discord, so what you usually do. So thank you very much. And dear participants, thank you so much for contributing such great applications to our contests. So we are talking about. So you're very creative. The quality is growing. So you contribute amazing applications. Thank you so much. So we are looking for you. So as you know, so we have another contest running next week, and so you're welcome. And we are looking forward for great new solutions with InterSystems Iris and Iris for Health. And I wish you Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and see you in our next meetups.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.